Test, test. Okay, Mike looks like it works. I don't see the camera. Let me see if I can figure something out here. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, so it shows up on the YouTube, but for whatever reason, not on the Streamlabs. Okay, good enough for me. If you guys can see me, great. On the Streamlabs, if you can, I apologize. It's on YouTube for sure. I am Rex Byers, your host here in the Sweatbox. Little emergency late Sweatbox. Decided Champions League match day deserved an hour and some change worth of soccer coverage today. So, I remember last year, this is the first day of this format. 36 teams now in the league, up from 32. And so instead of 8 groups of 4 and advance from 32 to 16 in the next round, they've reformatted the tournament, adding 4 teams to make it 36, and then playing 8 group stage games. Basically, I'm still not sure of the formula of schedules. It seems like all the good teams play each other and all the shit teams play each other more than not. But in the end, most of the creams rising to the top. All the English teams are going to make it. Many of them are going to have buys, for example. But still, there's plenty to be decided here as we head towards halftime. Benfica scores in the 49th minute of first halftime and take a 2-1 lead in the locker room against Real Madrid. That still leaves them adrift with only 9 points, and it's taking 10 right now to get to the top 24. The qualifying is as follows. 1 through 8 will get a bye into the round of 16. 9 through 24 will play each other in the order that they finish. 9, 24, 10, 23, 11, 22. And those 8 fixtures will go also into the round of 16. I don't know if they reseed or not. I don't think they do. So like if the 24th team beats the 9th, then they'll still play against the 8 and won't go against the number 1 in the round of 16. And then they go elimination knockout games from there to, home and away. So that's how it's set up. Teams 25 through 36 are eliminated today. So the top 8 make it to the next round without having to play to the final 16, and the 9 through 24 make it to the next round. And they'll play each other in order of reverse, 9, 24 all the way down to 16 and 17. And 25 to 36 are all out. So that's what makes all these games pretty vital. Obviously, mathematically wise, the only 4 teams that were outgoing today were Kairat Almaty, Villarreal, Slavia Prague, and Eintracht Frankfurt, I believe. Yeah. So 32 are still alive, but technically it's going to take an act of God for some of these teams. Paphos, for example, needed to beat Slavia Prague by 1 million today. They're tied 1-1.5. The teams sitting on 6 going into today were up against it for sure. I'm watching TNT Sports 1 out of England, which is the Goals show. Basically, it's a poor man's knockoff version of what the U.S. shows on the Golasso show with Nico Cantor. Just because that's what my Magic Box picks up. I'll have an eye on the second half, basically, of how things stand, and we'll walk you through it. I've got those who saw my Twitter picture know that I've got. Well, the TV allotment of games sucks today. I have VIX as well, which is showing the games in Spanish that are supposed to be like, I don't know, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, the part of the package for VIX, but they're showing like a bunch of futsal and some other crap. So even though the 10 channels that have games on VIX, they're only showing like 6 games. So it kind of sucks, and a couple of them are the same games that are on TNT over in England. So these repeat games aren't allowing me to, like Real Madrid's on against Benfica on Unimas here in the States. So I don't need Benfica and Real Madrid. Napoli's playing Chelsea, but it's on VIX and it's on TNT. Same thing with PSG and Newcastle. And Liverpool and Karabakh. So those games are all on multiple channels, and I'm getting the shaft. City and Galatasaray and Athletic and Bodo Glimt. They're both games that I've been watching on VIX, and I still have those. In addition to all the other ones I told you, CBS Sports is showing Inter Milan and Dortmund, which is an interesting game for the fact that you've got teams that have 12 points and 11 points, so they're in prime position to move on, but neither one of them have improved their situation. And if it stays like this as a draw, then both of them will certainly be playing is lower seeded teams most likely having to go on the or play their home games first before going on the road in the second legs of their 9 through 24 matchups. So as things stand, that's where we're at. I'll run down the scores here quite briefly, very briefly, and I'll let you know who's the benefactors. We go into second half stuff, in addition to some games that I like going in. Newcastle and PSG. Let's go in rotation order. Newcastle, smash and grab for Newcastle at the break as I was logging on. Scored at the death. Paris has dominated most of the first half. It's 1-1 in France, in the French capital. It's PSG was laying a goal in this game. Both teams are sitting on 13 heading into the game. With them both being on 14, I don't think I have to look and see when because the goals show obviously during the half times at a commercial. So I don't think that either team, as things stand, sitting on 14 is going to get a bye. Don't quote me on that. Depending on what happens elsewhere, obviously. Maybe one of them is in position. Let's see. Next is Kairat at Arsenal. Arsenal 3-1 over Kairat. Both teams scored early. Kairat on a penalty. Arsenal 2 other goals later in the half. They are 7 for 7 and have already clinched qualification to the next round. This will give them the lock on the 1 seed. Kairat just 1 point, doomed to the basement. Juventus and Monaco. This is a game that I want to watch and I cannot get to, which is starting to be really frustrating. I hope somebody the goal show will show more of it in the second half. The problem with that is they got to show goals, and 18 games are going on. They're showing a lot of goals today, so it'll be tough. No score in the Principality in the south of France. Juventus sitting on 12, Monaco 9 pre-match. I don't know if 10's enough to get Monaco through. I think it might be, but I have to check on goals on that. That's something we have to keep an eye on that game for sure. That's one that I really do want to watch that I can't get to. Quarterbacks got to 10 through 15. 10 through 7, and they played Liverpool. They were the biggest dog of the day, or one of them, and they trailed 2-0 at the half. I think goal differential might matter. I think 10 points may be the number that gets to around the 24 spot in the qualification. Don't quote me on that either. I need to get a look at the table. But quarterback may have to protect something. If they're sitting in a spot where goal differential matters, then they're going to have to really hunker down and not let Liverpool put up a big crooked number. Spurs are in Eintracht Frankfurt. Really no excuse for Spurs. Eintracht Frankfurt's already out, only on 4 points through 7. Tottenham on 14. They're through. A win in this game would get them a top 8 seed and an advancement through the 9 through 24 round. No score at the half. Tottenham's been the better side. Real Madrid, Benfica. This game is on local. I do have a fast feed for it. Benfica, a late penalty. 4 minutes into stoppage time, and they lead at Real Madrid at the break with 2 unanswered. 2-1. They need to win and get some help. They only had 6 points through the 7 games so far. Real Madrid on 15. I think that they're probably safe with the top 8 despite the result today. So curious to see how hard they go in the second half. Jose Mourinho trying to coax 3 points out of his team and see if 9's going to be enough to sneak into the next round or not. Don't know if it will. Don't think it will. The standings are back up on the screen now. They're only showing the top 18 for now. Chelsea is in Napoli. The Southern Italian side has scored twice late in the first half, including once in stoppage time. Rasmus Højgaard in at the death for Napoli to give them a 2-1 lead over the English side. Chelsea sitting on 13 points pre-match. Napoli on 8. They needed to win. I think that Napoli, they were saying that 9's not going to be enough for Napoli. I don't know whether that's goal differential or what. But obviously Napoli sitting on 11 will have enough to get in. So I think that they're playing to win for sure in that one. Villarreal and Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer leads 2-0 over Villarreal. Just a horrific season for Villarreal. Just 1 point in the league. Doing okay in the Spanish league, but not in the Champions League. Leverkusen on 9 going in. A win here will get them through. Comfortably up 2-0. The American Tillman has 2 goals for Leverkusen. They'll be safely through into the 9 through 24 stage. Galatasaray at Man City. The Turks are on 10. That's all they're going to be on when it's all said and done, most likely. Man City, a 2-goal favorite, leads by 2 at the break at the Etihad. That'll put them on 16 comfortably into a bye, I believe. Marseille is at Bruges. This is an interesting game, one that I want to watch as well. Marseille sitting on 9 going in, Bruges on 7. Bruges is up 2-0 at the half. That puts them on 10, and I believe that puts them in. And Marseille on 9 would be one of the first teams out. I think they're 25th with 9. So I'll have to double check the goal differentials. That's where this all comes into play with why you see teams running it up in these earlier games when they're up 3 or 4-1. They wanted to keep scoring because these goals matter when it comes to seedings and positioning. Ultimately, that's the tiebreaker. When you have teams level on points. Inter Milan is at Dortmund. This game is on CBS College Sports or Sports Network, whatever the hell you want to call it. Inter and Borussia Dortmund playing to a 0-0 draw at the start here. Both these teams, as we speak, are in. This is a game that I really like the under a lot for the simple fact that that's where the thing was sitting. Milan on 12, Inter on 12, and Dortmund on 11. Game is in Dortmund. Both teams on 12 and 11 are through at this point in the top 18. Monaco sitting on 10 right now in this draw, and they're 24th, and 25th is PSV on 9, and they're also in a draw. So I hope that they spend a lot of time showing the bottom half of the table. I don't really give a shit too much about the top. The problem is all the English teams are fighting for the top 8, and it's an English station, the English broadcast, so they're going to really put a lot of focus on the British teams. And that's just, no big deal. It's what it is. Bodo Glimt and Atletico Madrid at the Metropolitano. Atletico on 13. If they win this one, they will go on through as one of the bye teams. They're in a draw right now, sitting on 14 points. That puts them in 9th, tied with Atalanta as well, which we'll get to shortly. Bodo Glimt on 6. They need a win and they need some help. But they were down 1-0. They've come back to draw it. Let's just see what happens from there. That'll be a game that I want to watch, and I do have it on, so I will keep an eye on it second half. Obviously, everything's on a delay for me with the exception of Real Madrid Benfica. That sucks, but such is life. I'll still try to walk you through it the best I can. Copenhagen at Barcelona. The surprise of the first half so far. Copenhagen got an early goal, and they lead Barcelona 1-0. This is a game of Copenhagen sitting on 8. If they win, they will go through on 11 points. I believe they would be safe. If they do not win, which they probably won't, this will open up a bunch of spots that will be in the 10 range, and that'll knock Copenhagen back to 9 if they draw, 8 if they lose. Barcelona again, I think on 13 will be out of the bye. Yeah, they're in the 13th spot as things currently stand. But a win here would put them right back into the top. We'll put them in the 9th. So yeah, it's a long way to go, obviously, in all these games. They're going back and forth with the scores, which is good. Copenhagen, as we stand though, with the 1-0 lead, they are in, even though they're -5 goal differential. But if they do not, they give up one, they'll go back to 26th or so. Long way to go. Second halves are about to kick. Olympiacos Ajax. This is also one team's on 8, the other one's on 6, headed into the game, and there's really I don't think either team can make it as things stand, and certainly if they don't play more offensive. No score in that one. Sporting Lisbon at Atletico Bilbao. Lisbon on 13, Athletic on 8. It's 2-1 Athletic, 47th minute. That one's underway in the second half. As things stand, that would get Atletico Bilbao through. Playing at home, they're the Basque side trying to advance. Atalanta on 13 against USG. St. Gilolo is at home in this one, and there's no score in that one. Second half's underway. Atalanta through. Union St. Gilolo's needs to win and needs help. Slavia Prague out. Paphos on 6. They need a big win. It's a draw. As a matter of fact, it's a draw at 1 now at the half. And München is in Eindhoven playing PSV. This is a game where PSV can make it, sitting on 9 if they get a draw. But the results elsewhere have them out currently. So they're going to need some help, or they're going to have to score to get themselves through. They're on 9 if they draw in this game. If they lose it, that'll put them back to 8 and will almost surely eliminate them. München on 18 is already through. Well, only question for them is will they finish second or not. Looks like Spurs are on the board in the first 90 seconds of the second half in Eintracht, and that will put Tottenham into the top 6. No, they are 6. That's going to put them into the top 3. No, behind Liverpool, 4th. Puts them ahead of City. So that's where things stand now. Spurs, 17 points at this point as things stand. I will start rattling off the as it stands to you throughout the second half as goals start flying in. Let's see, is anybody else in so far? I don't think so. So You have halftime scores. Now let's see what happens coming out of the break with all these games. I'll certainly try to keep you abreast of them all. I'm going to go ahead and put the volume back on the Gold Show so I can be aware of what's going on up there. Kolonwani. We're underway in the second half, I believe, on all the grounds. Nope, fake news. Benfica Real Madrid, who had that late first half penalty, they're the last one to go, and they're really behind because that's the game that I have a live feed on. So they're super behind on that one, in that one. Yeah, the other games are all 3 or 4 minutes in. That'll be the last one that's playing, unless one of these games has an ungodly amount of stoppage time. Remember, at this stage in these group stage type matches, there are no what was I going to say? There are no like there's no extra time. There's no any extra time or anything on top of the injury time after regulation. Those don't happen until the knockout stages. It's just you play 8 games, 90 minutes each, plus injuries, and ever what your point total is plus your goal differentials decides whether you make it from 36 down to 24 or not, or if you make the top 8 then into the last 16. Something's not right with my Streamlabs. I apologize to that. Anyways, thanks for checking me out. I am Rex Byers, your host here in the Sweatbox. Twitch TV, YouTube TV. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I don't need your money right now. Please tell some friends. Check me out. I'd like to build this thing up a little bit, make it something that's sustainable in the long term. Something's definitely wrong, though. Like I said, I don't see myself on camera in the Streamlabs, and I don't see the chat option, which means that there's something that's obviously not right. So I apologize at this point not being able to get that. But do welcome any of the feedback that you want to give me. If you can't do it on the chat, for sure give it to me on Twitter, or feel free to ask any questions on Twitter. Robert Lewandowski has found the back of the net for Barcelona, and 3 minutes into the second half, they have leveled against Copenhagen, and the Danish side is now out of the top 24. Barcelona will move into 9th now. Again, a win here for them would move them into the top 8. Was that Lamine Yamal? Borderline offsides. Nope, it stands. Didn't take long. We've now got a pretty good driving rain in Lisbon. Mohamed Salah has found the back of the net for Liverpool. They now lead quarterback 3-0. And the Azerbaijani side could be in some trouble now. I'll have to look at the updated standings, see where they stand point-wise. They may need some help. Don't know if 10 points is going to cut it. And the point differential now becomes vital. They're -3 now in goals today. Finally underway in the second half in Benfica. That game was miles behind every other one. Every game on the board is no less than 5 minutes ahead of that one. Wow, Soboslai just dropped it right off to Salah. Maybe that's one I'd try to maybe save on the training ground until you play a little bit more important game than this one. I'm not sure why they would pull that one out That is an absolute cracker of a goal. Come on, goal show. Show me the bottom 20. I want the bottom 18. I need to see what's going on in the teams that are in distance in position to drop. This is where it'll get the assholes will start to get tight for some of these teams in that range of getting really close to qualifying. Oh, Real Madrid a golden opportunity in the second minute of the second half. Vinicius can't quite finish on a header. A great cross by Mbappe. Oh, wow. Absolutely would have a goal if Vinicius would have gotten his head in the right spot. And one of the more surprising stats of the day, quarterback actually has more possession than Liverpool, 51 to 49. Although this obviously isn't the Jurgen Klopp Liverpool side. Ajax and Olympiacos. Olympiacos is in. And they now are on 11 points. Ajax only had 6 going into the day. Olympiacos on 11 will get them in. As things stand, they have scored in Amsterdam against Ajax. 52nd minute, and they lead 1-0. This is a game where Olympiacos, believe it or not, was a small favorite. Ajax had a horrific start to the campaign. They won a couple here coming down the stretch. But, yeah, the league campaign has been nothing, or the international campaign has been nothing short of a disaster for the Dutch side. Oh, wow. And Paphos. Nice goal. 53rd minute. They lead 2-1. Okay, we're at the bottom of the table now. Let's see what's going on. Monaco hanging on for dear life. PSV is going to go down. Women hung on. They're still drawing as well. Benfica, Paphos on 9 now. There's the Paphos goal. So it takes 10 to get through as things stand. PSV sitting on 9. The teams in drawing position, well, let's see. Bruges is up 2. Napoli's up 1. Olympiacos is up 1. Those teams have 11. So they're all safe as things stand. It'll start to sort itself out as we have some more scoring. I'm guessing Barcelona will score at some point and knock Copenhagen down. Some matches are 54, 55 minutes on my box, which means they're like 57 minutes in real life. Benfica, Real Madrid still in the 50th minute. And that's the game that I have the fast feed on. So it's, like I said, woefully behind the rest of them. The best thing about this, when there's 18 games, I don't have to give you play-by-play. There's going to be a goal at some point in the not-too-distant future, and I'll just talk about that. I do have eyes on, like I say, 8 of them. But they're all behind, so there's a good chance the goal channel will be ahead of me. I have my fastest box on the goal channel on purpose. No reason, if they're all going to be on tape, to use my fastest box on a different channel. Ekitike is in. He's got a goal and assist today. Liverpool 4-0 over Qarabağ. Things going from bad to worse. Let's see what that means. I needed to look at see where they stood on the table. I think we're to the point where we said, what is it going to take 11 to get through, or were the 10 still in? Yeah, I think Qarabağ sitting on 10. They're 10. They're still in it. but by a hair on their chinny chin chin. Yeah, that's the number because they're still -5 in goals before that one. So yeah, it's going to take a PSV goal, a Marseille to score twice. They're going to be ahead of Benfica and Paphos. Copenhagen's out as things stand on 9, so they needed a goal to get back in there. Yeah, PSV's waiting to pounce. They need to score. That'll be what knocks Qarabag out at this point. It's PSV scoring. As things stand, Galatasaray and Qarabag, even though they're losing, are both on 10. Bruges up 2-0 is also on 10. Monaco and a draw is also on 10. So Monaco ahead of PSV because of the scoring. PSV actually has +1 in goal. Monaco -6, but PSV on 10 points, Monaco only on 9. So Monaco becomes the key side in who goes up and who goes down as they play Juventus at home, needing a win. A draw with Monaco on 9 to put them at 10, I don't think will be enough. Let me double check that. Why did they have 9 before the game? They concede? No. They keep showing the top half. It's driving me nuts. PSV and Munchen. Here comes Munchen. Musiala bangs one top from the right side, blasts one right up and past the goalie. Munchen 1, PSV 0. And that PSV loses their point from 8. Yeah, they were on 9 to 8. And Benfica has scored again. Schledgerud. 3-1. Thibaut Courtois beaten to his right. And that's the game I'm ahead of you guys. You'll see it in a second. Benfica now on 9. I don't know if that's going to be enough. They're going to have to keep going. Let me see where they stand. They got to show the bottom half here. Come on, man. Yeah, they're going to need these teams that are sitting on. Yeah, they only had 6 going in. They're going to need some serious help. The teams on 10, they don't matter. It's got to be the teams that are on 9 or 8 going in that all have to lose. Dortmund and Inter, 12 and 11. They're both safe. I wonder why it says 12 for Dortmund when Dortmund had 12 going in. They haven't updated Dortmund's. Oh, no, they haven't. Okay. 13-12. Okay. All right. Oh, here's a goal. Newcastle. Nope. Flag up. Bodo Glimt has scored against Atletico Madrid, and they lead 2-1. And that will put Bodo Glimt in, I think. It's 6 up to 9. Maybe not. I'm lost on this. I'll have to see the bottom half again. I'm totally lost on what's in and what's not. That was a side that I liked today a lot, plus 1.5 goals. God, that ball was loose in the box for like 18 bounces. Bodo Glimt finally bangs it in. Camavinga Tchouaméni in for Real Madrid. Here's a goal for Chelsea. They've knotted it up at 2-2. And that will knock Napoli back out. Joao Pedro. Wow, golazo. Left foot, top of the box, right corner, up. Keeper for Napoli, no chance. And the Maradona has been stunned. Liverpool's in again, 5-0 over Quarabag. 62nd minute up there in Anfield. Wow, golazo. Uh-oh, got a goal in Barcelona. Let's see what's happening here. The Catalans have it. They're probably favored to score here. Oh, Lamal's looked like it might be a cross, and it was deflected, and it went right into the back of the net. Probably going to be an own goal off the deflection for Copenhagen. No, they gave it to Yamal. Slavia Prague, we have a red card, so Pafos up 2-0. 2-1, and with a red card on Slavia. That's the first one of the 18 games today that have had a dismissal for either side. There's that Bodo Glimt goal. A complete fiasco in front of the net. That'll put Bodo in. So on 9, they, because of goal differential, have now come ahead of Marseille. Benfica also on 9, and they're below on goal differential. So Bodo in 24th is in now on 9 points. So yeah, Bodo in with the lead now if they can hang on to it, and the results elsewhere stay where they need to for them. Benfica even up 3-1 against Real Madrid is not in on 9, and Marseille down by 2 is also out. Now, the goal differential between Marseille and Bodo is only -1 to -2. I have no idea what will happen if Marseille scores a goal to cut their deficit to 1 at at Bruges. No clue. I'd love to watch it. Leverkusen scores again. They lead Villarreal 3-0. That game meaningless at this point. Leverkusen on 12 now. They'll safely qualify. Mbappe is in for Real Madrid, 58th minute, and they've chopped the deficit to 3-2 at Benfica. So that Benfica giving up that goal now, that's what has the goal differential the same as Marseille, but Marseille is now in. So who gave up one? Atletico Bilbao's out. That's what happened. Sporting Lisbon is in. It's just in as in scoring a goal here. They've tied it up at 2 in 62nd minute, and that knocks Atletico Bilbao back to 9 points and into 26th. Now Marseille is in. Somebody else just scored. I would have just watched the bottom of the standings. I don't even care about anything else. Just let me watch the live table at the bottom. This is great. All right, we're going to find out in a second because they're showing the live update before they show the goal. PSG and Newcastle. That's the one we already aware that Newcastle scored. I think unless they took it away. PSG and Newcastle are 8 and 9, and they're tied at 1, and the goal differential for both is +10. So for whatever reason, PSG wins whatever tiebreaker against Newcastle. Newcastle has to win in order to get through the top 8 unless something happens ahead of them, which won't happen at this point. All these teams are safe. Barcelona's not. If Copenhagen scores again against Barcelona, that'll knock Barcelona back out. Yeah, so the winner of this one, if PSG draws, they'll get through. Um, the only difference would be if Chelsea scores again at Napoli to knock Napoli. Well, Napoli's already out as things stand. But Chelsea scoring would put them in the top 8 and knock PSG and Newcastle both out of the top 8. A bunch of games are draws here involving these teams between 8 and 14. They're all in a draw. Juventus, Inter, Atalanta, Sporting, Chelsea, Newcastle, and PSG are all drawing as things stand and sitting on 13 and 14 each. Atletico Madrid on 13. They're down by a goal. If they come back and get into a draw, they'll be right near the bye spot again. Dortmund in a draw, sitting on 12 points. They need to win to get themselves anywhere near it. But I think the top 15 are all technically eligible for the top 8 as things stand. I don't think Dortmund or Leverkusen or Olympiacos, none of those teams can get there. But the top 15 can still get into the top 8 at this point. As things stand, they all can get to a bye. Atletico Madrid will need to come back and win, I think. The rest of those teams, 14 through 8, are all sitting on 13 or 14 points and are all in drawing positions. Middle of the second half in most of these games. The so-called, quote, fourth quarter underway. Rafinha is in for Barcelona, 3-1. The Catalans have taken the lead, and Copenhagen is now in bad shape. Back to 8 points and in 30th. So briefly qualifying. At the half, they were in qualifying positions. They're now, well, given the goal differential in the course of the season, that's really about where they belong. PSV down a goal. PSV were to score, that would put them right back in it and actually ahead of Bodo and Marseille both. So PSV and Munchen becomes one that you need to watch. Don't know how much Munchen will give you. They really don't need. Ajax is in against Olympiacos, and that changes things. Olympiacos, where are they? Are they still safe? They haven't updated the standings yet. Uh-oh. Union St. Gillows takes the lead against Atalanta. 70th minute. Leave it to these guys. They're showing the bottom of the table finally. Quarterback 10, Bodo Glimt 9, Marseille 9, Benfica 9, Atletico Bilbao 9, Napoli 9. Goal differential, Napoli -5 this season. Yikes. USG up into 29th. That won't be enough. Oh, Bellingham almost a goal for Real Madrid. Olympiacos now has lost the lead. They haven't updated the scoreboard yet. So they'll go from 11 back to 9. Ajax will be back on 8. No, sorry, back on 7 because it's 8-6 going into the game. So it'll be 9-7 now. Ajax still out with 7, but if they get to 9, then the tiebreakers go back into play. And I think their goal differential is pretty good. Have to see the bottom again. All right, I am Rex Byers, your host here on the Sweatbox. Bottom of the hour, 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. Thanks for checking me out. I appreciate you. Fun times here. Match day 8 of the Champions League. Final day of the first part of the tournament. The knockout stages commence in earnest once we whittle this thing from 36 today down to 24 after today. Top 8 qualify directly into the Sweet 16, and teams 9 through 24 will play each other in order of seeding. 9, 24, 10, 23, all the way down to 16, 17. Those will decide the final 8 spots in the last of 16 against the other 8 that will qualify today. In order of finish, 25 through 36 will go home after today's matches. Oh, Munchen almost another goal in the 72nd minute. Going to be out for a corner. Athletic and Sporting, still 2-2. Benfica in now. based on the results, and Olympiacos is out. So Athletic and Olympiacos are the first two out. Napoli, the third one out. Paphos and USG are all on 9 as well. Paphos and USG are already winning. The other three are in draws. So Benfica can do no better than what they're doing now. Bodo Glimt can do no better than what they're doing now. The other teams on 9, Marseille, can do no worse than they're doing now. Quarabag on 10 can do no worse than they're doing now. They're probably going to be safe. Atletico, Olympiacos, and Napoli all have to come back and take the lead to knock those teams all out that are on 9, that are already there, Bodo, Marseille, and Benfica. Not impossible. Those teams, Atletico has led already today, Olympiacos has led already today, and Napoli has led already today. They're all in drawing positions now, and that will all knock them out. Bodo, Marseille, Benfica, all in on goal differentials of the 9-point teams currently, -1, -2, -3. Atletico, Olympiacos, Napoli, Paphos are on -4, -5, -5, -5. USG at -9 is going to be out. Everybody else, with the exception of USG from 30 on down that were eliminated earlier, are already out. Ajax on 7 at 32nd. If they score a goal, we'll get back to 9. Their goal differential, though, is -12. That's not going to be good enough for them. They will not qualify. But they have dragged Olympiacos into the muck with them with the recent goal to tie it up. Bodo Glimt becomes a key game to watch as they'll hang on for dear life. All these teams that are sitting on 9 below them will need Atletico Madrid to score. Any bets on this? M. Lewis 8111. I got they're coming out of my ears. I'll try to go in order of what we did before the match. Newcastle we passed. Kairat plus 3.5 was a very small play against Arsenal. I don't even know what the score of that game is. Juventus and Monaco under looks pretty good so far. Qarabağ Liverpool, small bet on the dog, no good. Spurs and Eintracht Frankfurt, nothing. Real Madrid Benfica, the dog small. Chelsea and Napoli over 2.5, which is good. Villarreal and Bayern Leverkusen was a pass. Galatasaray and Manchester City +2 small. Marseille and Bruges was a pass. I like Bruges. I couldn't pull the trigger on it. Inter Milan and Borussia Dortmund was a pass. Bodo Glimt and Atletico Madrid +1.5, pretty big. Good shape there so far. Copenhagen, Barcelona, nothing to it. Lean to under. Glad we didn't go there. Olympiacos and Ajax, nothing to it. Under, small, which looks like it's in peril at this point. Sporting and Athletic was also nothing and a very small lean to under. Atalanta and USG, no strong opinion. I wanted to bet Atalanta, but I wanted to pick line, and I wasn't going to lay anything. So it was a pass, which looks strong so far. Paphos against Slavia Prague, Paphos -0.5 +130 or better was worth a look small. And Munchen and Eindhoven was a pass. I liked Eindhoven a little bit, but I wanted to take 1.5 there. They didn't have it, so we didn't quite get the number on that. So, yeah, lots of plays going in. I didn't really do anything at halftime. I was more concerned about doing the show, talking to you guys, having fun with it than anything else. It's not like the old days where I used to have Pinnacle accounts and was betting, 3 and 5K on the halftimes and shit. I'm not quite. The bankroll doesn't allow me to do that anymore, for at least for now. Who knows till I get money again. Fun times, though. I pulled the trigger many times at Pinnacle on some live bets where the goal would come like a minute later. And I also did it enough times where it came against me where they never canceled a bet. It's like they know I'm not past posting them. Hell, I bet the wrong side half the time. What do we got here? Spurs are playing around with it at the back. Oh, no. Spurs up 2-0, and that will put them almost assuredly into a bye position. Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs, Munchen. Barcelona, Manchester City are all but locked in at this point. Real Madrid in a spot that they'll advance even without a result. PSG also. PSG Newcastle. Newcastle needs a goal to knock PSG out. Chelsea, Sporting Lisbon, and Inter are all in positions to pass Real Madrid if no, Inter's not. Real Madrid seems to be safe. PSG, Newcastle, Chelsea, Sporting Lisbon, Inter, and Juventus, and Atletico and Atalanta all battling 7 for the last spot, 8 for the last spot. The first 7 are almost assuredly safe. Actually, no. Real Madrid's 15 is not safe. They'll need one more to get to be safe on 16. 15 with a bunch of teams sitting in draw positions at 14 is not safe yet, technically. So 8 for 2 is what it looks like. The first 16 to the top are all safe. Bruges on 10 at 19th, Monaco on 10 at 20th, Qarabag on 10 at 21st, Bodo Glimt 22nd on 9, Benfica 24th on 9, Marseille 23rd on 9. Marseille and Qarabag can't get any worse. I mean, the result, they're already losing. Bodo and Benfica are each up by a goal. So if they lose their leads, they will fall out from 9 back to 7. And that will open the door for Atletico and Olympiacos. Atletico Bilbao, sorry. Who's Bilbao playing again? Sporting Lisbon. Oh, PSV is knotted up against Munchen, and that's going to put them back in it. So PSV from 8 up to 10 now with the goal against Munchen, and that knocks Benfica out. And it knocks Marseille to 24th. And it will knock Bodo to 23rd. PSV up to 22 from 30 on that goal. Big change here. 79th minute in Amsterdam, in Eindhoven. And it's 1-1. Saibari, his 3rd goal in 7 matches this campaign. And the Philips Stadium in Eindhoven goes bonkers. Bruges and Marseille. Bruges is safe. Marseille's still in. I want to know if Marseille scores, if that will put them. I want to watch that game. Damn it. If Marseille scores, that'll put them ahead of Bodo Glimt on goal differential or not. Because they both would be on -1 if that happens. PSV is ahead of Bodo somehow because they're both on 9 points and -1 goal. Oh, and so much for that. 2-1 Olympiacos is in. And Ajax back out, Olympiacos back in. Oh, so one Dutch team slides themselves back in. And Vincent Kompany gets the yellow card in the process for Munchen. And another Dutch team is now back out. Oh, wow. Inter is on the board at Dortmund. And that will take Inter up from 12th into the top 8. Ahead of now PSG, I believe. Not Real Madrid, but yes, ahead of PSG. That'll knock PSG and Newcastle both into the 9 through 24 playoffs. Super golazo. Oh, right over the wall. Spectacular. Arsenal, Munchen, Liverpool, Tottenham, Barcelona, Manchester City are all locked, barring an act of God. Well, barring multiple acts of God. One act of God will keep City in it. Two of them won't. Real Madrid and Inter are both on the fence at 15 points. The 14-point teams, few of them have draws still. And Bruges is in again to lead Marseille 3-0. That will cement their spot as things stand on the 10 points. They're going to be gold. And that puts Marseille in. No, Marseille's out. Bodo Glimt is down to 24th now. Marseille is down 2 goals now to Bodo Glimt. So I'm not even sure if they score 2 more goals who qualifies. Any other red cards? What do we have here? Chelsea, Joao Pedro again? Oh, wow. And Chelsea in the 83rd minute has taken the lead at the Maradona. And that will knock Napoli. Napoli's out already before that on 9 at -5 goals. So they'll go down to 8 points now. That'll knock them back to 30th from 28th. And this will lock Chelsea in. They're now back into the I think, right? They were out, now they're back in to the bye. Does this knock Real Madrid out? I lost track of the top. I love how many times I've been looking up there at this table, and I'm wanting to see the 1 through 18 about 20% of the time. And every time that I want it, they're showing the bottom. And I want to see the bottom like almost the whole time. They never show the bottom. Although I asked for this, and they're giving it to me, the bottom a lot more here at the end. Oh, Kane. Great pass. And now both Dutch sides are out. PSV concedes, and that will knock them from 9 points back to 8. And that will put Marseille back in on 9. Now, where's Benfica in this? They're tied. They both are -3 in goals. So Benfica needs another goal, or they need Marseille to concede again to get back in the top 24. That's where we stand here. Remember, 9 through 24 will make the playoffs. The top 8 will be in a bye situation and move on to the round of 16. As things stand, that goal by Inter puts them still behind Real Madrid. They're on 15 points each, but Real Madrid has a 3-goal differential advantage over Inter Milan. So that Inter goal does not put them in the top 8. The Olympiacos goal moves them up to 18th now on 11 points. Dortmund down to 17th after that concession with 11 points. Leverkusen on 12. Everybody else on 13 or above. Penalty check in the Dortmund and Inter game. Check is over. PSG and Newcastle needs a winner if one of them are to make it into the next round without the playoffs. Otherwise, they both go to the playoffs. Playoffs? Now it becomes if PSG, Newcastle, Sporting, or Juventus score, either of the 4. So PSG's playing Newcastle. Sporting is playing at Athletic Bilbao, and who's fighting for their life. And Juventus is at Monaco, who's also fighting for its life. If any of those teams in the 10 through 13 range score, they'll knock Real Madrid out of the top 8. Inter's in 9th still, so they're not going to catch them. We're now into the last 5 to 7 minutes of regular time in almost all these games, with the exception of Benfica and Real Madrid, who have about 10 minutes of regular time to go. Scintillating, fascinating viewing here. The one game that I had the live feed on Unimas is Benfica, Real Madrid, and they're about 5 or 6 minutes behind, even on the TV feed, which means because of the delay, I'm about 8 minutes behind every other game. It seems like all 17 other games on the delay. That'll be the last game playing, and it's on live. The rest of the games I have on tape, so it's really, really odd. There was the Barcelona goal to put them up 3-1. 4-1 now. Sorry about that. Thank God I didn't bet under in that game. I really liked under for some, and I was like, the only way it's going to get there is if Copenhagen doesn't score. And of course, they did early and led 1-0. Paphos is in against Slavia Prague 4-1. Again, Paphos too far behind, I don't think, for it to matter. There's just not enough results that go in their way. Newcastle, let me see what happens here. The Cypriots. I wouldn't mind going to watch a game of Paphos sometime. Seems like it would be fun. Paphos is now -4 in goals. Hang on, they keep going. They have a chance. Marseille is -3. Benfica -3. Athletic Bilbao -4. Paphos -4. I have no clue if Paphos scores again what that will do. What that would get them into the top 23 or not, I have no clue. Bodo 23rd and Marseille 24th right now. All those teams down through USG and 28th are on 9 points. USG on -9 goals, they can't get there. Paphos up to 26th now and -3. Benfica -3. Marseille -3. Marseille, the leader over Benfica and Paphos on goal differential in the -3 teams. Why that is, I have no idea. So we'll have to keep an eye on Marseille. If they concede again, they'll be out. If they stay where they're at or score once, they'll be safe, or should be safe. On goals only. Oh, man. Kairat plus 3.5 is all of a sudden no longer safe. Arsenal dribbles one in, 4-1. Against the Azerbaijanis. Or no, that's the Kazakhstanis. Sorry. Copenhagen in? Yep. Goalie made a mess of it. 4-2, Barca. I don't think that'll do anything for Copenhagen. Let me double check the goal differential. I think they're too far behind. We're about to enter stoppage time. We already are in a couple of these games. Liverpool just scores again. Touchdown, Reds. 6-0. Sure, the hope for Quarterbox that they don't have to play Liverpool again in the next round. It would be the round of 16. I think it's like technically in play. If Quarterback Quarterback gets through their playoff tie, they may have Liverpool again in the round of 16. That won't be very pleasant. Stoppage time everywhere now, with the exception of Atletico Madrid, and Bodo Glimt in most of these games. PSG trying to ask all the questions here to get themselves back out of the playoffs and into a bye at the expense of Real Madrid. It's not happening. for either one of these teams, PSG and Newcastle, as we stand. Sporting Lisbon and Juventus both need a winner. They'll be in the same position. They both can catch Real Madrid. I'm sorry. Sporting Lisbon can, Juventus cannot. Sporting and then either Newcastle or PSG can both catch Real Madrid. Nobody else. Manchester City's safe. Unless they all catch it, which ain't going to happen. Last minute or so, PSV and Bayern München. They already blown the whistle there? Yeah, but Benfica has to score again to knock Marseille out. So does Pafos. Atletico Bilbao needs a goal to move on to 11 points and move way up the table into the top 18. As it stands, they're 27th. PSV and Napoli each need to score to get to 9, but they're both on goal differentials getting beat. Surely the Benfica people know that they have to score again. I would think that a live over bet would be a good one in this game. Get some ridiculous price to get it off 3-2. Well, they're ahead of me if they're goal. Oh, wow. Super golazo for Inter. So Inter, with the second goal, can they catch? No, they can't. They're going to win the game and they'll knock Dortmund out, but there's nothing that with that goal doesn't change anything. München has earned its draw against PSV. PSV is out. Sorry, they win 2-1 and PSV is out with the loss. 7 full minutes Atletico Madrid at the Wanda as Bodo Glimt's hanging on for dear life. Uh-oh. Sporting. Oh! Oh, Sporting is in. And they now will move past Real Madrid into the top 8 as they've scored at Athletic Bilbao. Bilbao out. They had to play for another goal, so it was going to always be offensive. That's another game where live over was a good bet. Sporting needed a goal to move into the top 8, and Bilbao needed one to stay alive. Great live betting opportunities. Pep Guardiola being shown the standings by one of his coaches on the bench. Manchester City up 2-0. They are safe as things stand, but not for long. With that goal by Sporting will knock Real Madrid out. Manchester City now back. No, they're the same. They're tied. It'll either be one of them's going to be 7th, another one's going to be 8th. So now it becomes PSG Newcastle. And that's just about to be a draw, and they're both going to. Yeah, they're mutual losers in that game. They'll both go to the playoffs. Juventus needs a goal, and there won't be enough. Yeah, all the teams that are on 15 or less are now down into the playoffs. It takes 16 to get to the qualifying directly to the top 8. Now into stoppage time at Benfica. 92nd minute. And almost all these other games are either going final or very close to it. Bodo Glimt and Atletico Madrid 2-1. Bodo hanging on for dear life. Manchester City 2-0 over Galatasaray. That's about to go final. Galatasaray, before the game was on 10, they're going to be safe. The 10-point teams are safe based on the results on the field. So Manchester City now in the 8th spot. Sporting is 7. They passed Manchester City even though the goal differential is the same. Real Madrid is back into 9th now. Inter in 10th. Raul Asensio has been sent off for Real Madrid. So Real Madrid will be down a goal and down a man. 3 minutes left for Benfica. They need a goal. So they're going to send on 2 subs trying to go press for it. That'll be the sweat. Benfica needs a goal. Bodo Glimt needs to hang on. Okay, now I got the Golasso channel on now from CBS. Let's see. Paphos. Did Paphos score again? No. They still need one. Marseille -3 in 24th. Benfica -3 in 25th. Paphos -3 in 26th. All on 9 points. Bodo Glimt -1 in 25th. Two minutes left in Benfica at the very minimum. Probably a little more than that, given how things are playing themselves out here. 97th minute at the Wanda Metropolitano, and there's a corner for Atletico Madrid. And Bodo bangs it out of there, and there's a foul on Atletico, and that just about will do it, depending on how much more time they add. It's 7 minutes of time as things stand, and they're doing the best they can to waste some more of it. The Bodo captain's having a chat with the ref. Is that a handball against Atletico? Not sure. That was an impressive win by Chelsea at Napoli to be able to win and move on and get the bye. Get one of the byes. That's a really good win for them, and knocking Napoli out, who needed to win to qualify. Very impressive. Benfica needs a goal. Marseille on the 20 in the 24 line, a very precarious spot here. We're almost full time everywhere. Real Madrid trying to tie it up to get themselves back into the playoff. Now, this is where I really thought there'd be a goal here, especially when they could put a red card out. Now it's a question of how much time's left on top of the 5. They called for not 5 of stoppage time. We're into the 6th minute of it now. Benfica needs to score. I don't know what the keeper's doing. Someone's got to tell him what's going on. As things stand, Marseille in 24th, Benfica in 25th, Paphos in 26th. And Paphos did not score again. That game is final, so they're out. Nothing will change now. PSV out, Athletic Bilbao out, Napoli out, Copenhagen out, Ajax out, Frankfurt, Slavia Prague, Villarreal, Kairat Almaty. All those teams have been out all day. USG a winner today, but they're out as well. We got a yellow card, and this will be a red card. So we have a sending off of another Real Madrid player. Asensio done for the day. And now Rodrigo is as well. So now Real Madrid is down to 9. 97th minute. Ref lets him play on. Benfica needs a goal to knock Marseille out. We do have a foul. The Benfica bench, they know what's going on. They're really trying to press forward here. Jose Mourinho. I'm rooting for this Benfica goal. I want to see Mourinho in the next round. Who does it? The guy's a total nut job. Here's a cross. Golazo! Goal! Benfica! Marseille out. Benfica through. Golazo! Unbelievable. Holy shit, you gotta be kidding me. Oh man, what an incredible goal. What a great cross. Is that the keeper? 18 or the keeper, one or the other. Wow. No way. Oh, you've got to be shitting me. Is that the last kick of the ball? It is. That's it. The last kick of the ball, Benfica 4, Real Madrid 2. And that's how we decide the last 24. Trubin gets the credit for the goal. It was the keeper. The keeper. The goalkeeper on a header for Benfica is the hero. Oh my God. They do meet in the playoffs. Marseille's Benfica's the 24 and Real Madrid's the 9. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Plus, Real Madrid's going to have 2 guys suspended. No way. So that's it. They do play them. The Real Madrid's the 9. Wow. I mean, I am speechless after that. It's hard to find the right words. Okay. Let's go through all the full-time scores, and then I'm going to try to run down the playoffs for you in addition to who qualified, and then we'll call it a day. That was awesome. Wow. I mean, that's what I did this for. To get a finish like that, unbelievable. The keeper at the death on a header. Newcastle United in Paris draws PSG 1-1. Both teams were losers. They'll both go into the playoffs. We'll set those up. They'll have home games. I'll set those fixtures up for you shortly. Kairat losers at Arsenal 3-2. Kairat scores at the death to only lose by 1 at Arsenal. Bad season for Kairat, but salvaged something with a respectable effort and a cover at Arsenal. That last goal puts it over the total of 4.25 at a lot of spots. Plus 3.5 goals always safe. Juventus and AS Monaco, a draw at the municipality. Both those teams are safe. Monaco finishes 21st. Juventus will be in the playoffs as well. 13 points. I'll double check their positioning shortly. Liverpool winning 6-0 at home against Qarabag. Qarabag finishes 22nd. They're safe thanks to the results that happen underneath. Tottenham and Eintracht Frankfurt, an easy 2-0 win for the North London side against the Eintracht Frankfurt side that never got its footing in the tournament this year. Real Madrid, Benfica 4-2 at the death. Again, Benfica winner on the field as about a half-goal dog. The 4th goal at the death on a header by the goalie in the 97th minute allows them to advance. Real quick, going to go ahead and write this shit down. Arsenal, Munchen, Liverpool, Spurs, Barcelona, Chelsea, Man City, the top 8. Real Madrid is 9th. Inter is 10. Paris is 11th. Newcastle, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Atalanta, Leverkusen, Dortmund, and Olympiacos. I've got the rest. Bruges, Galatasaray, Monaco, Qarabag, Bodo, and Benfica. Okay. Let's finish the rest of these finals, and I'll read out the playoff matchups for you, and then we're going to call it a day. Man, that has to be a Mourinho team. I love it. All right. So the 4-2 Benfica final I was telling you about. Obviously, the last kick at the ball in the last game of the day, with that game being behind all the rest of them. Just a fascinating, thrilling finish. Chelsea 3-2 at Napoli, a final score. Chelsea, by coming from behind to win, has knocked Napoli out of the event and earned themselves a bye in the process. Villarreal losers tonight, 3-0 at Bayern Leverkusen to cap a very disappointing campaign for the Spanish side, who's competing well in La Liga. Manchester City 2-0 a winner at home against Turkish Galatasaray, who makes it into the next round of the playoffs. Man City earns a bye. Bruges 3-0 over Marseille to qualify. They came out of the positions that were out of it going into the night. Marseille was in. They flipped positions as Bruges runs them out. The Belgian side, a small dog going into this one tonight. Do win it outright, plus 180 or so on the money line headed in. Inter Milan 2-0 at Borussia Dortmund, a winner impressively. Unfortunately for them, not enough to make it. The results above them didn't work out in their favor. Bodo Glimt impressively rallying from behind as a 1.5 goal dog to beat Atletico Madrid 2-1 at the Wanda Metropolitano. Results there far flinging. Atletico Madrid now is the 14. They were in position with a win tonight to be in the seeded positions to get a bye. With the loss, they drop down, and Bodo Glimt goes from 6 to 9, and they make it as the 23rd team. So Bodo Glimt, the Norwegian side near the North Pole, will advance based on wins against Manchester City and at Atletico Madrid to get 6 points of the last 9 that they were at. 6 points total out of the 9 they were able to earn. So they only had 1 win or 3 points total. I think they had 3 draws in their first 6 fixtures, and then they win the last 2 to get in. Good for them. Easy to root for. Let's see. Copenhagen, Barcelona. Barca 4 goals in the second half to come back from 1-0 down. They win it 4-1. Barcelona moves on as a bye team. Olympiacos and Ajax 2-1. Olympiacos comes back to win it. They led 1-0. Ajax drew it. Olympiacos comes back to win it. Ajax needed a goal. There was always going to be a chance of fireworks late. Olympiacos survives. I think that they were out of it until they scored. Now they end up getting a decent position because they had 8 points going into the day, and they finished with 11. Sporting Lisbon 3-0 or 3-2 at Athletic Bilbao. Disappointing result there. Big move on Sporting Lisbon before the game. With that win, Lisbon puts themselves in a bye, and Athletic Bilbao is out. At one point, I think Atletico Bilbao was up 2-1 and in position to qualify. Atalanta loses at US Gilios 1-0. USG on 9 points, but not enough on goal differential to move on. Atalanta in position to possibly get a bye going into the day. That's not what happened. Slavia Praha loses 4-1 to Paphos, who needed one more goal. Slavia Prague was actually favored in this game. I don't know how that's possible, given that they only had 3 points the whole time and Paphos was sitting on 6. Just a complete lack of respect for Paphos. Big steam on Slavia Prague. They get a red card early in the second half, but Paphos was in control the whole way and was 1 goal away from sliding into the last spot, or the 23rd spot, one or the other. München 2-1 over PSV Eindhoven. That win knocks PSV all the way out of it. PSV was in position to qualify, I believe, if they had gotten to 9 based on goal differential. München has a bye. That's the final results of all 18 matches. As things stand, well, they don't stand anymore. It's over with. It's done. So here's what we're going to do going forward. Arsenal, Bayern München, Liverpool, Spurs, Barcelona, Chelsea, Sporting Lisbon, and Man City all have earned byes. They will be in the round of 16. 8 teams will join them from these 16 matchups. Benfica will play Real Madrid again, and that's going to be incredible. Real Madrid lost 2 guys to red cards. Those guys will both be suspended. Rodrigo and Rafinha, I think is who it was. So 2 fairly important suspensions for Real Madrid when they play Benfica in the first leg of 2. And that'll be back in Portugal. Bodo Glimt will host Inter Milan in the first leg, 23-10 matchup. You have Qarabag at home against Paris Saint-Germain in the 22-11. Monaco will play Newcastle at home in the 21-12. Galatasaray will be at home against Juventus in the 20-13. Bruges will host Atletico Madrid in the first leg of the 19-14. Olympiacos against Atalanta in the 18-15, and Dortmund and Leverkusen in the 17-16. Are they allowed to play each other, the 2 German sides, that early? I don't know what the rules are in the knockout stages. If nothing changes, that'll be the matchups. So, assuming they don't, that's what we got. I'm going to turn this off and watch Kate Abdo and the CBS College Sports UEFA Champions League team. All those guys in London, Thierry Henry, Michael Richards. Looks like they got Nico Cantor in there with them, so it'll be a hell of a show. I'm going to watch some of that for a bit. Hopefully you've enjoyed my time today. Thanks for checking me out. I will be at the Westgate Superbook tonight. Super Bowl props coming out 7 o'clock Pacific time in about 4.5 hours from now. I will be pulling in at about 2 hours from now to go talk to my friends Jeff Sherman, Ed Sammons in the gang, see how things went, and look forward to hanging out there. Anybody that wants to come tonight, say hello. I'll be there for a bit, probably 7 to 9 Pacific, give or take. And yeah, in the meantime, be good. Take care. I will be back no later than Saturday for college basketball. We may try to make an appearance tomorrow night. I'm not sure yet. I'll be sure to say something on Twitter if I get involved. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you checking me out today here on the Sweatbox. I am Rex Byers, your host. YouTube TV, Twitch TV. Thanks. Be well. Take care. God bless.